In this week's The Best and the Bravest, the bodies of COVID victims and who handles them. They have been essential on every day of this crisis, funeral industry workers.
The Best and the Bravest.
Granting relief in times of grief. Unfortunately for some, the pandemic has brought tragic endings. And for one group of essential workers, death is the beginning. Although trained to handle infectious bodies, some funeral directors panicked when COVID arrived.
1, the handling of the deceased. 2, whether at the time of death there will be full disclosure, because as you know, COVID had a stigma to it.
There was no education that was given at the time when it was discovered that COVID-19 was around. So nobody from the Ministry of Health and Wellness met us as a group, as first responders, to dialogue with us to arrive at some consensus.
Concerned that persons who die from COVID-19 may still be infectious, funeral home operators were warned to avoid direct contact with blood and other fluids from the bodies.
So you wear your gloves, and where the need is, you double your gloves, you wear your protective gear. It's more than just this fabric or surgical mask. We even apply chemical masks sometimes, and we wear our protective overalls, which is made, some is made of plastic, others is made of fabric.
Soon, fear grew surrounding funerals for COVID-19 victims.
The first thing expressed by family members: would we be able to have a viewing? Would we be able to see the person in the casket? Secondly, if yes, is there a possibility that standing over that casket, viewing the body, we can transmit the disease can be transmitted from that deceased to us?
And possible transmission post-mortem is still uncertain. But the greatest risk isn't from the deceased, but from families and their failure to comply with the prevention and control measures.
Please ensure that when you attend the funeral services, you still wear your mask. We discourage, the handling of the body, because, as Jamaicans, again, we like to come and we touch auntie or we touch grandma, we say our final goodbyes. You have situations where people will still want to do that, and so we have to impress upon them the importance of not being so tactile.
With the restrictions on funerals, the grieving process has changed. And funeral directors have had to assume the role of counselors as well. They've spent months on the front line, and their battle against COVID-19 isn't over.
The Best and